Welcome to the Insightful Babes podcast. We have created a new community for all the hustlers, dreamers, outsiders, and visionaries out there coming from Hispanic traditional beliefs. We've decided to share our entrepreneurship journey, our ups and downs, and hope to inspire, empower, and help others who are not being themselves because of fear or traditional beliefs. Hello, and welcome to the Insightful Babes podcast. This is our first special guest for 2022, and I'm so excited to have her here. So welcome to the podcast, Adassa.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here.
This is going to be such an interesting episode, guys, because as you all know, Adassa came out as Dolores in Encanto. So we are going to talk a little bit about that. But before we do that, I would like for you to share a little bit about yourself, Adassa. ¿Quién es Adassa?
Bueno, yo soy cantante, compositora. I do a little bit of everything in the music. You know, I started just like anybody else, just loving music in school. I did a lot of show choir. And my dream was to be an extra at Disney because like I never thought in a million years I was going to get, signed by a label or anything like that. So my dream was like, I want to give paletas. I want to tell people where the bathrooms are. Like that was my dream. I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I met who now is, my husband. We've been married for over 25 years. And he was like, well, let's just do the music thing. And he had contacts. So I got signed with Universal. Then I went on tour, with Pitbull and did songs with Yankee and Enrique Iglesias, Sierra, Missy Elliott. And that life just took off, doing stuff and with Snoop and Songwriter. But then, at this time of my life, I never thought that dream would come true. I mean, that went like on the shelf. It's been collecting dust. And then all of a sudden, we get the call from Disney. And it was out of the blue because I had really focused a lot more on TV and film after I left, doing a lot more of the stage shows and touring and all that. And once I told my husband, I want us to focus a little bit on our family and let's just, do stuff for film and TV behind the scenes. And it was amazing because it gave me the comfort of being able to make money just from home, just working on film and TV music. And then through our YouTube channel for a song called Por qué ella y no yo, we got a email and then it said, we would like to get in contact with Adassa's management. And I checked the email and I was like, hola, soy Noemi. I am la asistente de Adassa. You know how we do. We double up.
Yeah.
We double up. And I sent it over to my husband. And then he calls me from the studio, which is here at our home downstairs. And he's like, it's Disney. And I was just like, stop it. It ain't even a proposal. And it was Grace Kim. Which was an incredible instrumental person in my life, which is the casting director's assistant. And then Jamie Sparrow Roberts, which is the casting director for Frozen and Moana and Wreck-It Ralph and all of these amazing films we all love. And she was the one that was like, okay, let's do a read. And I didn't know what film it was though. I was like, I was completely like, I didn't know what it was for. I was just like, yes, anything, I'll be a frog. Give me a bird.
I'll mind my way.
Whatever, I'll be a chicken, And then by the time I got the call back, they told me it was Encanto, and I just couldn't believe it. My family was like crying.
Yeah. Oh my God, such an exciting moment, no?
Oh my God,
definitely.
It's a dream.
I don't know what I would do in that situation. I would be like, well, you're like jumping and like screaming, or like, how was your...
Well, you never hold a claim to a moment like that. You just just bask in whatever's happening. And for me, imagine this is a film. This is Disney. They can have anybody in the world. And it's a worldwide film. And it's about Colombianos. How many talented Colombianas are there out there that do music and are great actresses? Like I immediately thought like, man, Karol G, she could do something in this film. I mean, you automatically go to the Colombianas que han hecho furor, en la industria. And when they told me, Shakira también, come on, hello, Shakira. Yeah. We all love her. And then when I thought, I just got to make this my moment. And I even told the directors, I'm like, I don't know what your decision is going to be. And it really doesn't matter. But this right now is the moment that I could tell my family's story. And I didn't even give them a chance to breathe because I was like, can I tell you about my family? And I started whipping out photos, olvídate que el celular, I had those in black and white,
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa, mi abuela, mi papa, mi mama. And I started telling them about my family and about, being born in the United States from two parents that are 100% Colombian, bringing that culture with me to the United States and being raised con un pie aquí y un pie allá, which is exactly what this film is about. It speaks a little bit about the displacement sometimes of the families that they go through, especially even now in these times, that you have to leave that place of comfort that you've known all your life so you can raise your family under a different environment. And then the kids grow up and they don't understand why you're like so protective, como la abuela, and they're like, why is grandma always freaking out about it? Because she's like knows what's happening behind that wall of magic protecting us from everything, And that's what my parents gave us the opportunity to come here and live the American dream. And I'm proof that it's possible.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So I can only imagine you there, like doing that audition video and just going all out about your family. Like, did you like plan it, or did you just kind of like went for it? You were like, you know what? No, I need to tell my story. I need to tell about my family.
I did not really, I kind of wanted to say it, but you know how you get all shy, like this is the moment, and then I'm going to say the wrong thing. But I just took it because that moment wasn't just mine. My grandmother's dream was to be a singer. Like she wanted that. She wanted to be a singer in Colombia, but being a dark-skinned Latina, it was difficult for her growing up, not having money and not being from an influential family or anything. Era una señora muy sencilla. And then my mom wanted to be a singer, and she actually got the chance to be in a local band called Mar Azul in Colombia, and she played the guitar. And so I showed them a picture of my mom, but that also didn't come true for her. So she became a nurse, just like my grandmother did. And for me, it was like I was carrying the torch for 3 generations. And I'm like, I am running to the finish line and past the finish line, and I don't care. I'll end up in the ocean, but I'm running with it. And that's what I felt like. It wasn't just for me. It wasn't about me being like embarrassed or what are they going to think of me. It was like, no, I need to do this because this is what my grandmother fought for. This is what my mom fought for. This is what my father fought for. And I need them to remember their names. And I said, I just need you to remember Ernesto Diaz and Gladys Diaz and Rosa Pájaro y Gaspar Melgarejo for somebody else other than me and my ears and my children to hear their names and what they meant in my life. And then I was just like, and I'm done. And they were like, so are you going to sing? And I was like, oh yeah,
sure.
That's what I'm here to do anyway, right? I guess so. Let's read some lines and sing some songs.
That is so amazing because I feel like I wouldn't be bold like that, especially, you always get like that Caidita te ves más bonita and like, going there, especially somewhere like big, like Disney. So I think that's super bold and that's like really insightful of you.
Well, I was like, what's the worst that can happen? Fire me. I don't even work for you. I'm like, I would like to, but hey, long shot. But I knew that was more important than anything else. And then when they told me that we got the part, that was just, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, really after that?
Like, all right. That's awesome.
That is so awesome. And embracing those roots, la cultura, and just being able to like express yourself and still get that part, it's like amazing and so empowering. So thank you for doing that because you're honestly inspiring so many of us Latinos. Like Diana said, like imagine us, Diana, like doing that. Like, I don't know if we're there yet. I mean, we are sharing stories here at Insightful Babes and we're trying our best every day, but like, wow, that's like a whole new level of Latina, bold Latina,
Yeah.
But I think you girls do it. You girls do it by doing these things, taking chances, like reaching out to me. That was special to me because I feel like if I can be a part of bringing in my insights of what I've seen and what I've lived, what you girls are doing is exactly that. You're bringing the insight of many individuals with different experiences from all over, from all walks of life, being Latinos, and being able to hear that story, because to me, stories are everything. That's who dictates where our roots come from, what the energy that we absorb and who we become is based on that original soil that is our story.
Yes. Thank you. Gracias for that. So let's go ahead and jump into Encanto. I've already seen it more than once. What about you, Diana? You've already seen it. Adassa, ¿ya la viste?
De verdad. Let me see. I think I caught a piece of it. Yo, ¿qué tú crees? Man, we have 7 kids. We've got that sucker on replay.
Oh my God.
We went to the movies like 4 times at the movies. We watched it in 3D. We watched it with our friends. And then on Disney Plus, that sucker never stops.
Yeah.
What is something about your character that you absolutely loved?
I love that even though she knew everybody's business, she didn't tell everybody's business. I mean, there were things that she didn't say. You know? She was like, should I keep this one to myself or not? You know, but in that moment, she was just like, this is too big. This can affect all of us, you know, in general. But the fact that she can really keep a secret, hey, that's a hard thing when you know everybody's secret. So, hello, she's got the
she's
me. But she tried. She was like,
yeah.
Okay, so I want to know a little bit of how you got started in the music industry. Like we did talk about it a little bit, but I want to go like a little back in like the beginning of your journey. So how was that?
Well, I started in school and I was a soprano, but actually I'm an alto. Okay, I'm not even a mezzo soprano. I'm like an alto. I reach really low. But the sopranos always had the solos, so I was like, I'm going to train myself to be able to reach those. You know, the ones that get the solos, but at the same time, I could reach really low, which is what I brought to Encanto. And that's what I just focused in music and going to my choir competitions. And then from there, when I got signed, the way that we got there was at first I was selling music out my backpack. Like back in the day, yes, when there was records and you had a CD and there was still some tapes. Oh my goodness. I'm letting you know my age, right?
No,
estoy diciendo. ¿Qué edad soy? ¿De qué edad soy? You know, I was selling them at the back. I was just like, you know, handing people records so they can listen to them. I was hitting the clubs. Didn't matter if I had to do 3, 4, 5 shows a night. I was doing them. And for free, people, okay, because you don't get paid at first. You just do it because hay un micrófono. There's no hay tarima, no importa, en el speaker. Dame el micrófono, let's go. I've sung on speakers anywhere because I just wanted to get out there and do it. And at first, it was not that easy. You know, I would get booed and then I would be like, what, you're booing me? No. And I would put the crowd in its place. And when I would just start owning it, that it doesn't matter what you think. I'm here to make my point. And when I'm done, I'm done. And I started just owning that stage, and the opportunity to be signed to a label came with Universal Latino. And it was through my husband, Gabriel Candiani, who works for Warner Chappell Production Music, doing a lot for TV and film. And he had some contacts and we fought for it. But at the same time, I have to give it up for Walter Com. Walter Com is also Maluma's manager, which is in this movie. But we didn't even know. Honestly, we didn't know that this was happening. And it was just like full circle. You know, we ended up working again with each other. But he was the one that took the shot along with John Echevarria, which was the president of Universal Latino at that time. And they signed me, which, you know, 20 years ago when I got signed in 2003, 2004, there was no morena, mulata, bilingüe, haciendo reggaeton, siendo colombiana. Okay, we're adding on all the you know? Yeah. And they took a chance on me and they pushed it and they helped me so much. But it wasn't where the industry is now. So I can't say it was an easy road because, you know, in the moment they were like, oh my goodness, I love the music. And when they knew that I wasn't Puerto Rican, at that time, it was like, ooh, Chad, you know what? You know, it was kind of that. And, but I never stopped because I was like, look, I'm used to the no's before. I don't care. This is what I love to do. You know, soy Latina. And yeah, my music is a little English, a little Spanish. Así soy. Somos Spanglish, you know, Latinx. That's who we are. Se te pega de los dos lados. And we fought really hard. We did that. We went. And that's when things started taking traction, when they saw I wasn't going away, baby. I was here to stay. And then that's when we got to tour with all these great artists and feature on so many songs. And then it came a moment where I was just like, I want to go into different genres of music. I don't want to just be, you know, la reggaetonera, you know, because at that time they were calling me the princess of reggaeton. And we went touring to Japan and stuff with Daddy Yankee as the el rey, la princesa del reggaeton. And I started going into dance music. And then I started getting into like cumbias. And then I dabbled into so many styles of music because I'm a lover of music. Like I love music and I love to do it with my swing on it, you know. But yes, I'm not going to say that it was easy all the time. There were difficulties. But if this is what you learn, that you know this is what I cannot live without, if you learn that along your journey, then there's no quitting. It's just that wherever you're heading, you have to see it like this. And I always say this, it's like, You take a step and the oceans will part. You got to take a step and believe that the ground's going to be there for you. And then you keep walking and you keep walking and you keep walking, because in the moment that you get scared, that's when you stop growing. That's when all of the things that you've been driving yourself for become stagnant. And I was just never willing to take that. And yeah, so that's what it took. And now it's like, oh my gosh, colombiano y haciendo reggaeton is like the biggest thing. And I'm all like, wow, 20 years later. But it takes people like, to open certain pathways. And it's that difficulty that makes the path easier for others, pero el primero que tiene que quitar las piedras del camino, a veces se lleva el tiempo, la tracción más difícil. But I tell you that has also formed my character and also made me fall in love with the urban music and being a tropical girl that I am, and falling in love with the fact that I'm not here to do this because it's convenient. I do it because I love it.
Yeah. Would you say that your strength comes from that passion of music that you have? The strength of wanting to just keep going. Like you said, you tried different genres, cumbias, reggaeton. Would you say that your passion towards music is what allowed you to just keep pushing through?
Absolutely. And also it's to show anybody out there that's doing music that rejection is part of the journey, but rejection also constructs for you a path that you can reach higher and higher every time if you take it that way. Because if you take rejection as, oh, people don't love me, whatever, and that's why I'm doing this for, why? Why are you doing music? Are you doing it because you want followers, or are you doing it because you want to express something? And for me, I do music because I want to express something. So if I have 300 people who view my video or 2 million, it doesn't make a difference. I got to express that feeling. If others feel that they have that song or that message resonate with them themselves, that's them. But for me, I cannot not do music. Like, I cannot do it. And that's what brought us to Porque Ella y No Yo, because that was just a song that my husband and I worked on a day. And then when we were in Miami, he was like, hey, the lighting's good. Let's just shoot a video. And we were in our hotel room and he shot it top to bottom. It was one performance. It was like, and then we put it up on YouTube and it had like 300 views.
Yeah.
That was it. And, pero one of those views was Grace Kim, which is the assistant to Jamie Sparrow Roberts. So the thing is that sometimes don't let yourself be fooled that I need a gazillion views for me to be relevant or for me to be noticed. It's not how many, it's who that truly matters. So anybody out there doing art, I have to recommend that. Do the best art that you can. Put your best foot forward, your best artistic ability forward, and the rest will follow. If you are doing it with passion and love, people feel that. But if you're doing it out of, I need to make money, I need to be famous, I need someone to notice me, people feel that and they kind of tend to reject that. And I used to be like that at the beginning. So I ain't gonna lie. I said, please notice me. I want to be somebody. But once that, stage goes, it gives you the freedom of doing and being who you truly are. And that's when the real true passion for whatever art that you make really comes through, because then you will never stop.
When do you feel like you had that realization of like, being that person that you wanted to get noticed and you were trying so hard and then you finally, like, one day you're like, you know what, this is my passion? Like, when do you feel like that realization came?
Man, there was one specific moment, and that's when I was at a red carpet event and I just felt like I wasn't getting to the places, like the interviews, like I felt like I should be here where that person was, and they would pass me or something. And then I started feeling like I just need to chill it out and just enjoy the moment. Look where I am, like freaking Jennifer Lopez is standing right there. Like, oh
my God.
Look at who's on my right. Like, that's Luis Fonsi. And he just said hi to me. And oh my gosh, she's sitting next to me. We're talking. And I just started embracing what was happening and not how many things I was doing or how many interviews I was doing. I was just embracing being in that moment and remembering my grandmother didn't get to do this. This was her dream too. So I started feeling like I need to stop being all crybaby about this, about not being where I need to be, because there is no nothing. I'm the one setting these blocks on my own head. It's just like, enjoy where you are, enjoy the process. So when I got this opportunity for Disney, it was the same thing. I was like, I am lucky to be here. Just because I can rap and I've done this and that with so many people Doesn't mean that I earned it or I deserved it. Nobody deserves anything. You get lucky to be seen and to be recognized, and then you come forward and you go, thank you, whoever did this for me, thank you. And then enjoy the moment, enjoy the carpets, enjoy the visibility, because it might be my moment today, but then it might be your moment tomorrow. And I want to be happy, like for you girls and whoever else is listening. And I want to look at the next person that I paved the way for, and that Renzi, paved the way for, and Ravi, and all of this beautiful cast. And now it's your turn to be on there. And I want to be going, yes, go. You know what I mean? Look at him, look at her. They made it. Now they're doing their thing, and they're representing for Latinos and Latinos everywhere, and Latinx people. I want to feel that joy, not just for myself, but for everybody out there. And when you make that switch and just enjoy the process, then everything is wonderful, and nothing is not worth doing. Everything is worth doing.
I love that.
Love that. Oh yeah, I feel super empowered already.
I know.
I'll be right back, guys. I've got things to do. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about traditional beliefs. And did you ever struggle with dealing with some of those traditional beliefs and following your dreams? How was that experience for you?
Well, okay, that's a deep one. Ladies, I like that one. Yes, I had a great struggle, because at the beginning of my career, I thought I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And then when you notice that whatever it takes is not what you're willing to do, then you have to sit back and go, can I live with myself if I do whatever it takes? And being in the reggaeton world, as you guys know, it's a very, sexual, very sexy thing. And I pushed my sexy as far as I could go. I mean, heck, my first hit was Kama Sutra and Le Siguió Detrás. So it's not exactly, PG songs. Okay, so let's get it straight. I know what I have done, and I know what it, took me. But at one point, when I saw the reggaeton and where it was heading, I just knew I couldn't pass a certain line. So to be a go-getting, goal-oriented person, and a person who was willing to just work to the bone and understand at that moment that as much as I was willing to work to the bone, I wasn't willing to go over a certain line. I had to really take a look at myself and say, can I live with this? Can I overstep this and justify? Because you can justify anything. You can justify anything, but could I really live with it? And I just said, I can't go where reggaeton is going. I love to sing about romance. I like things that are sexy. I mean, of course, we're all a little sexy inside, but super over sexual, and where they were putting the female, it wasn't my vibe. Now, other artists, if that's them, that's good. Like, go ahead, do you. But if that's not me, then doing that, I feel like a fake. Like if I'm putting out a front and singing something that's not me just because I want to make some money or whatever. And then I noticed there's a lot of ways to make money. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. You don't have to compromise your principles to make money. I'm going to say it twice. You don't have to compromise your principles to make money. You just have to find another angle to see the picture. We have a 360 view of our world, okay? It's not just here. It's not just there. It's this way. So what I did is I took a step back and I looked all the way around, and I found another path to making money, making music without compromising my principles. That means I've had to say no to certain things that are not on my brand. Now, I understand that those opportunities become huge for somebody else that's willing to, do very explicit stuff or over-sexualized stuff. But yeah, I started at a certain place, and then I noticed my life could not continue crossing that gray line into the black, So then I took a right, and that brought me to other opportunities and kept me going down a path that brought me here. So I can't in any way say it doesn't work out, because it does. It just might take a little bit more work and a lot more patience, but it does work out. And if you stay grounded to your principles, be it spiritual, if you're a spiritual person, if you believe in God or not, whatever entity you believe that guides your life, including yourself and who you are and what you believe in yourself, if you stay grounded to who you are, who you truly want to be, who you will be at the end of the night, con tus ojos ahí cerraditos en tu cama diciendo, I like the person I am, then you're fine. But I couldn't live with myself doing that. And that's not the kind of image I wanted to portray. And it did change the route of my music, and it changed the route of every decision afterwards. And I am grateful that I did take a chance on something that wasn't proven at that time, which was to just do fun, positive, uplifting, sometimes dramatic, sometimes sexy, but not stepping over that principal line I wasn't willing to go through.